Good evening and welcome to EmoNews every moment online. In tonight's headlines, Dr. Renise de Armas earns doctorate in health administration. Roseau Health District takes healthcare services directly to construction workers. Domlec recognized among Caribbean's top-performing utilities at Carilec Awards. CIDIMA and MAP Action renew partnership to strengthen Caribbean disaster preparedness. Woman dies after falling into an open maintenance hole in New York City. And Arsenal crowned 2025-2026 Premier League champions after 22-year wait. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Tico, that's $800. Cash or card?
When cash is low, Tico is still ready.
Always card, Chalo.
Would you like a copy of the receipt?
No, Chalo. NBD already sent me the alert and I'll see it on Mo Banking later. That is it. From card to farm.
Power your business with the NBD Small Business Credit Card. Your partner, your bank.
Welcome back. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is the news broadcast for the 20th of May, 2026. In local news this evening, Dominican-born Dr. Renise de Armas has earned her doctorate in health administration from National University, marking a major achievement in a career dedicated to healthcare innovation and research. The daughter of Margaret Rudet Baptist of Coolibistry and Thomas Baptist Jr. of Harlem, Newtown, Dr. de Armas holds degrees in biology, forensic science, and public health. She has contributed to groundbreaking HIV vaccine research at the Rockefeller University and advanced cancer therapy work at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, where she helped ensure treatments met strict FDA safety standards. Most recently, she played a leadership role at a biotech startup developing quality systems for cancer drug therapies. Dr. de Armas was also recognized for academic excellence through National University's President's Circle and several honor societies. In a remarkable personal achievement, she defended her doctoral dissertation while 9 months pregnant and welcomed her son just 1 week later. The Roseau Health District has taken healthcare directly to the workplace as part of efforts to promote healthier lifestyles and early detection of illnesses among workers. A dedicated team from the district recently visited a road construction site in Lucia to provide health education, screenings, and essential basic healthcare services to employees on the job. Health officials said the initiative was especially important in reaching many male workers who often do not have the time or sometimes choose not to visit the health centers for routine checkups and medical care. By bringing healthcare services directly to the construction site, the team aimed to encourage workers to prioritize their health before serious medical issues develop. The outreach initiative forms part of ongoing efforts to strengthen community healthcare access while promoting prevention, wellness, and healthier living across Dominica. Organizers noted that while workers continue building the nation's infrastructure, healthcare teams remain committed to helping build healthier lives and stronger communities. Domlec has been recognized among the Caribbean's top-performing utilities at the inaugural 2026 Carilec Awards of Excellence held during the Carilec CEOs Conference 2026 in Barbados. General Manager Dwayne Sinak represented the company at the ceremony. Domlec received recognition in several categories, including third place in overall best performing utility, also first place, also tied with Grenada Electricity Services Limited in progress in the energy transition, also second place in safety record, second place in highest renewable energy penetration, second place also tied with Barbados Light and Power Company in financial performance. In a statement, Domlec said the awards reflect the dedication, resilience, and hard work of its employees, leadership, partners, and stakeholders who continue to drive innovation and excellence within the Dominica's energy sector. The company added that the recognition reaffirms its commitment to delivering safe, reliable, and progressive energy solutions as Dominica continues its transition toward a more sustainable and resilient energy future. Domlec also congratulated fellow Caribbean utilities recognized during the inaugural Carolec Awards of Excellence ceremony. And Dominica today joins the international community in observing World Bee Day under the theme Be Together for People and the Planet, a partnership that sustains us all. In an official press conference, emphasis was placed on the critical role bees and other pollinators play in supporting biodiversity, agriculture, food production, and the overall health of ecosystems. According to officials, pollinators contribute daily to sustaining forests, farms, and communities, highlighting the need to protect natural habitats and promote sustainable agricultural practices. World Bee Day is also being used to highlight ongoing efforts to strengthen honey standards in Dominica, aimed at improving product quality, protecting authentic local honey, and increasing consumer confidence. The recent passage of the Food Safety Bill in Parliament was welcomed as a major step toward improving food safety, consumer protection, and addressing issues relating to adulterated honey. On World Bee Day, citizens are being encouraged to protect pollinators, preserve natural habitats, and support local beekeepers as Dominica works toward a more sustainable future. And finally, in local news, primary schools in Dominica are being encouraged to apply for support under the EU CAN Cultivating Futures project. The project is aimed at helping schools establish or strengthen climate-smart school gardens, while also promoting nutrition education, school feeding support, and greater student engagement. Organizers say applications are now open, with the deadline for submissions set for June 5th, 2026. Further information about the project is also available on the organization's website. Organizers say the initiative forms part of efforts to build a healthier and more food-secure future for the region. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prices. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
And now for regional news. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CIDIMA, and humanitarian organization MAP Action have signed an updated Memorandum of Understanding to strengthen disaster response coordination and geospatial information management across the Caribbean. The agreement was signed during the regional stakeholder consultation on the Comprehensive Disaster Management Strategy for a Resilient Caribbean 2030. The renewed partnership will expand collaboration in mapping, data sharing, training, and emergency response support, helping Caribbean states improve disaster preparedness and coordination. Meanwhile, discussions during the consultation focus on resilience, disaster risk financing, and strengthening regional response mechanisms. CIDEMA Deputy Executive Director, Mr. Kester Craig, also called for a shift in language from natural disasters to natural hazards, while emphasizing the role of regional academic institutions in advancing the Caribbean's resilience agenda. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, recently received a courtesy call from resident ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of Morocco to St. Lucia, Younes Dahouzi, following the presentation of his letters of credence. Ambassador Dahouzi officially presented his credentials to the Governor General of St. Lucia, Mr. Felix Finisterre, on May 14, 2026. Following the ceremony, the ambassador met with Prime Minister Pierre, where discussions centered on strengthening bilateral relations and enhancing cooperation between St. Lucia and Morocco. The meeting underscored the commitment of both nations to fostering stronger diplomatic ties and exploring opportunities for future collaboration. Also in regional news, PAHO and the World Health Organization, WHO, has handed over more than $41,000 in advanced HIV testing and treatment supplies to Trinidad and Tobago's Ministry of Health. The materials will support early diagnosis and treatment of serious infections among people living with HIV and form part of the Unit Aid-funded Advanced HIV Disease Project. Health officials say the initiative will help strengthen patient care and support regional efforts to eliminate HIV as a public health issue by 2030. CAFA welcomed Bethany Cosma, Director of Global Affairs at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, during a recent visit to Trinidad and Tobago. The visit provided an opportunity for discussions on women's and maternal health priorities, regional health collaboration, and continued engagement with senior government officials, regional health organizations, faith-based groups, and women's health advocates. Officials said the meeting focused on strengthening partnerships and advancing initiatives aimed at improving public health systems and health outcomes across the Caribbean region. CAFA reaffirmed its commitment to supporting collaborative efforts that enhance healthcare delivery and regional public health cooperation throughout the Caribbean. And finally, in regional news, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry has reaffirmed its commitment to encouraging youth involvement in agriculture through its support of the CCRAF on the road Grenada chapter engagement held at the St. George's School for Special Education. Chief Agronomist Alison Haynes, 4-H Officer Melissa Tyson, and a team of agricultural officers currently undergoing training in the use of drones in agriculture participated in the educational demonstrations during the event. Students were introduced to the concept of growing food in raised planters, with organizers highlighting the benefits of the method, including cost savings and protection of crops from animals. Demonstrations also showcased the growing role of drone technology in modern agriculture. The event also featured hands-on mentorship from local farmer Evans Goodin, who volunteered his time to share agricultural best practices and assist students with planting lettuce seedlings. Organizers say the initiative aims to inspire young people to explore opportunities in agriculture while promoting innovation, sustainability. And now for international news. Russian President Vladimir Putin praised his relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping during a meeting at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, using poetic language drawn from Chinese culture. Speaking during his opening remarks, Putin greeted Xi with a traditional Chinese idiom describing the passage of time. In ancient Chinese literature, The term autumns is often used poetically to represent years. The meeting between the two leaders came just days after the high-stakes Trump-Xi summit and highlighted the continued strengthening of diplomatic ties between Russia and China. Officials from both countries discussed cooperation on regional and global issues as the two nations continue expanding political and economic relations. And sadly, a 56-year-old woman has died after reportedly falling into an uncovered maintenance hole along Fifth Avenue in New York City late Monday night. Police say the woman was found unconscious nearly 10 feet below the open manhole and later died at the hospital. She has been identified as Donik Gokaj of Briarcliff Manor, New York. Utility company Con Edison says an investigation is underway to determine why the maintenance hole was left uncovered. Family members claim there were no warning signs or barriers at the scene. Police say no criminal activity is suspected and investigations are continuing. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
New game in town. Get ready to match 5 and you can win 10K. Let's go. Play with just $2. Match 5 numbers from 1 to 29 to win. Draws every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. It's easy, fun, and local. Match 5, your local jackpot game. Dominican National Lottery.
Welcome to the sports segment. Arsenal Football Club have officially been crowned 2025-2026 Premier League champions, ending a 22-year wait for the league title after Manchester City were held to a 1-1 draw by Bournemouth. The triumph marks Arsenal's 14th English League title and their first Premier League crown since the unbeaten Invincible season of 2003 to 2004. Celebrations erupted across North London as manager Mikel Arteta guided the Gunners to victory following 3 consecutive runner-up finishes. Arsenal now turn their attention to the UEFA Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain on May 30 in Budapest. Dominica Athletics Association Inc. has announced the nominees for its executive committee for the 2026 to 2030 term ahead of the association's upcoming annual general meeting, scheduled for May 23, 2026. The nominees for the various leadership positions are: for President, Mr. Brendan Williams; Vice President, Mr. Walson Paquette; Secretary General, Philip White; Treasurer, Jamasha Mello; Assistant Secretary Treasurer, Felician Antoine; Public Relations Officer, Judy Larrock. According to the association, all nominees were nominated unopposed as preparations continue for the annual general meeting later this month. Also in sports, the New York Knicks staged a dramatic comeback Tuesday night, rallying from a 22-point fourth-quarter deficit to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 115-104 in overtime in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks closed regulation on a 30-8 run before dominating overtime to secure the victory, marking the biggest playoff comeback in franchise history. Jalen Brunson led New York with 38 points, while Karl Anthony Towns added a double-double with 13 points and 13 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell scored 29 points for Cleveland, but the Cavaliers struggled late as New York took 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. Dominica Football Association Technical Department last month began distributing football resources to schools participating in the FIFA Football Schools program as part of continued efforts to support youth football development across Dominica. Schools including Trafalgar Primary School, Massac Kinfield Primary School, Pioneer Preparatory School, Campbell Primary School, Delices Primary School, Bells Primary School, and Concord Primary School have already received supplies aimed at encouraging greater participation in football while promoting physical fitness and student development. Additionally, through its own initiative, the DFA also provided much-needed resources to Mount John Primary School. The program continues to play an important role in strengthening grassroots football and creating more opportunities for both boys and girls at the primary school level across Dominica. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next. And this concludes tonight's news broadcast for the 20th of May, 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. And on behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Have a good night. Thanks for joining.